Hello and welcome to Reaction Time DUOLANE special for the amazing Team Liquid Gen G game. I have Eric with me here tonight. How are we doing, Eric?
Doing good. Doing a little worse now that I have to watch this game again. But,
Yeah, I missed a large chunk of it, so I'm really not excited to see the nitty-gritty of what happened. But let's just jump right into it so we
right.
can watch my misery slowly grow. So let's give a 3,
3,
2,
2,
1,
1.
play.
Been one of the best AD carries since
So,
he came
a
on
couple
the
of
map.
notes about this, even from Pick Ban, which are really interesting. TL first 3 did something really fascinating, where they gave up the first pick MF, and then promptly picked the Ziggs into it,
Right.
with the intent of picking like the farm and low resource bot laner into it, which is a good strategy that a lot of teams haven't been doing so far in this tournament. One of the problems with that, though, is that then like they gave up the Amumu, and then they picked the kind of with it. So bot lane itself is really interesting. Teal has some good globals. However, then they gave up the Silas into this.
Yeah.
So here they are with Ziggs ult, with Aurelia ult, with Sejuani ult, with Shen ult into Silas.
Yeah.
So there's like 4 great targets on the enemy team, and Jax isn't that bad.
No.
The other thing is that they early locked this Sejuani jungle, and then didn't ban Trundle out, and they could have here. So now here Clid has like the counter pick jungle in this matchup, and so like things are very interesting right off the bat here as far as like where the picks showed up. The other big thing to call out is there's no flash top lane, so this is Camille Jax, Ignite TP.
Yeah.
So first gank is very important.
Right. And I mean, like, it sounds like that they gave up a lot to get this comp, so it sounds like they wanted to run this composition. I'm just very confused on, and we'll see it later, just how uncomfortable they function on this composition. It seems like something that you would want to have had really big practice on, a lot of success in scrims, but man, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so things are going okay right now. Like everyone except for Tactical's up CS, and you expect
Right?
Tactical to be down at this point, right? Because it's like a Mumu MF here, and so it's like, and Tactical's going to be farming with Q for the foreseeable future. So it's expected. Oh, hey, look, it's first gang top lane.
Yeah,
and it is not
too.
Yeah, and it's not Sejuani who's up there. It's this Trundle, and he can't flash, so he's dead. First blood. So then there went the winning matchup that he was winning pretty hard on first couple waves, but then got into a really bad spot.
And this is something that I would really critique Santorin on, because he's known for his big brain pathing and like being in the right place at the right time, and it almost seems like there's a dependency on.
Well, like the problem is that Sejuani is just a slow clearer compared to Trundle early levels, right?
Right,
so, like,
but she went for an extra camp.
Yeah.
Like Santorin should have definitely been up there early, especially, and this might be me and my like goon behavior as far as like really prioritizing top lane early gank. But with Sejuani, there's really no ramifications for doing it, or at least having a presence. Even if you're just going up there and placing a ward or any of those things, there's a lot of intrinsic value in doing that.
Especially with like we called out, like the no flashes top lane.
Which
so it's like you need to gank first. It's like a requirement. Or at least have deep vision so you know that you're getting ganked. And like none of that was there.
Yeah,
and so like look at how like aggressive they're positioning right now. So like the wave in bot lane was at Genji's turret, and Life is in their jungle, and Tactical is like back a full wave and like is missing out on CS because of that. So it's like he's actually doing okay total right now, but he's down effectively a whole wave at this point, largely because of that and just like farming. Like Alfari's playing this lane very well now that he's not getting ganked, but you know it's like he already gave up like the assist, and is behind, and then now the Trundle's ahead and has Sheen already. Like, this is just a very awkward position. But they're doing okay right now. Like, they're only down the gold from the first blood. Oh, well, now it's even, actually. So they're doing fine.
Yeah, like it's a forgivable offense, but I think like a lot of these these little micro mistakes are capitalized, especially when you're going up against someone like Genji. Like, they capitalize on any small mistake that a team makes. That's how they win. And that's just like Korean playstyle in general. Like, so to just, I don't know, be so confident is really baffling to me, because that's not typically like a Team Liquid playstyle.
Yeah, still really nice coming out from Jensen to recognize right away. We've seen
because like Jax and Irelia are both very ahead in farm, which all you really need is just to like keep them ahead in farm for the entire time. I'm just really so baffled on how they lost, like really like upset.
All right, well, they just got their first kill of the game. They managed to catch out the support on a ward, the problems of a Mumu. All right, and so their Jensen went for the play, but is still fine.
Yeah. But I just
so now
beg the question: what are you getting
out
of this? Why are you aggressing here? You're not gonna get. You're not even close to getting a plate. You're only getting like farm on Santorin and Core, like, that don't need the farm.
Well, I think a part of what they were thinking is that Jensen could stick around and then they could kill BDD. That was their intent there, or Core's intent. But Jensen was like backing already because he like,
and it would still just be a cheap kill.
So you mentioned like this didn't look like their play style and like how they were uncomfortable. And the main thing I saw is that Jensen does not look good on this Aurelia pick.
No.
Like in how to play the game, and that's very unfortunate because like it's a power pick in the meta, and they specifically flexed it for this advantage. And so now is when their comp's doing what it's supposed to do.
River
when they're not just giving away free kills, which is this. Well, it's support Shen, so it's not quite full on River, but like it's the same intent. Where like he's just gonna pour it in for like lane ganks with Santorin showing up. They have lane advantage. They have presence advantage. But like now here's Tactical getting shoved off another wave of CS because of that roam.
Which is to be expected, which is why you're putting him on, like, a mage that doesn't... Yeah. And they lost a plate for that.
Yeah.
And that they might have already lost anyway, just because they're going to get bullied under tower anyway, so they would have eventually lost a plate. So, like, net gain for sure. I also, like, I don't even talk about what happens later, but, like, I think Tactical had some jitters, which was very confusing to me as well.
He seemed to do okay, but, like, things had already gone way too far downhill, and then they really fell apart. He does have one baffling play that happens off stream, so, like, unless you have pro view for it to tell me what's happening, like, we'll just have to, like, go off of minimap.
Yeah.
No, I think we haven't gotten there yet.
They replay it. They do, unfortunately.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they're losing out on Rift Herald here because Khalid is big.
Yes.
Like completely due to like TL like mismap positioning at this point. But so then they just rotate everyone. They don't have Shen ult. They don't have Ziggs bomb. They don't have TPs, so they have to give it up. Jensen's still doing fine. He's now down CS though, so he went from being up like 10 CS earlier to down like 8. He could catch up on this wave, but instead he's gonna die. Oh no, he gets out. Oh no, never mind.
No, he does not get out.
And then that sick MF ult means that they can't guard this turret, and then Core dies too.
Yeah.
And now watch how fast they take this turret.
Oh yeah, it's Trundle is in his absolute element here. Like
he's in his what's the name of the aura?
The domain, the frozen domain.
He's in his frozen domain.
Yeah, the whole map, like they added ice dragons just for this game. Like the whole thing is becoming the the Freyord. Like, it's really disgusting that they allowed that pick through. To be honest, like that's just not.
the set ban was pretty baffling. Like, I understand the Olaf ban, but for both of
Set in
those
Irelia
bans,
is not even like a big deal, like for sure.
it kind of felt to me like they felt they were playing against Cloud9 for some reason, and they just were like, "How is Blabber gonna wreck us this game?" And they banned the Blabber pick, and it's like, maybe you should have thought about it a bit differently.
Yeah.
So then here's Jensen way too deep again, and then BDD
late.
can just yeah. Well, he teleported like at a decent point there.
But there's no reason to teleport.
Well,
Because they were just doing the 2v2, and both of these champions can get away in this situation.
Yeah.
There's no reason to teleport, because he could have had the push on mid here and recoup some of that farm too.
Maybe. I get that intent, but like
Yeah.
it's so hard to know that before you press the button, and without cancel now, it's like...
I agree. But
yeah. And then now here's another instance of Trundle in his domain. Yeah,
Yes.
just like
right clicking.
look how fast they take this turret. Like it's totally absurd.
And you almost imagine that this is what TL wants to be doing with a Ziggs, Irelia, and Jax. Like,
yeah, but like these like 2 deep plays, and then like getting countered. Yeah. And then like the Shen ult TP the Shen ult cooldown is just too long at this point.
It's not even here yet, because he's still 5. Yeah. He's way down from these rounds.
No, he just hit. Okay, so he just took 6.
Yeah,
so,
like just now.
So that was also an instance there of like why the Ziggs pick. Oh, yeah. Well, before he fucked up the combo, that was an instance there of like why the Ziggs into MF is a preferred matchup, right?
Yeah,
because here MF starts ulting, he throws the AoE right on top of her, and then throws the bomb to try and knock her back, and then hit her with more abilities. It's like a really convenient way of dealing with somebody who's immovable, right? It's like as soon as they stop moving, you just put all your high burst damage right there.
Yeah.
But then, you know, like, that isn't even the play that I found.
No,
tragic.
I didn't even
like,
know that one happened. Like, that was my just genuine and actual, like, first reaction to seeing that happen.
Yeah.
So
now, like, mid lane is definitely behind, because here's BDD with, all of his Silas buttons, just, half-shotting Jensen.
Yeah. And honestly, like, what the core is sitting on 2 deaths, 2 assists, 1 kill. So, like, he's not getting the resources per se either. What is he down? Is he down 2? No, he's okay. He's keeping up in levels. Okay, maybe it's not as bad. But it's just so different, like, value-wise. Like, Shen being 6 and having some tankiness to him is very different than a Mumu being 6
and just pressing R.
Right.
Yeah, but like on the flip side, like he's done a lot more than life this game. It's just the problem is that they've like gone too far and then gotten punished for those like every single time. So like now here they are, they're setting up another topside play. They're like hard committing here, right? So if you look at it, there's no teleports up right now. But here's Clid and Life coming in. So it's a 4v3 here. 5v3.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, there's.
And then he dies because he started TPing in front of the MF.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Like.
And now they just start getting wrecked because they expected it to be a 5v3.
Yeah. Like I don't know why Tactical did that. I really don't. Because they were planning that play. That's not one that like, oh, like, I gotta be up there. That was like, okay, I'm going, like, we're setting up for the 4v5. We see it happening. I'm gonna TP, but doing it right in her face. Like, come on.
Yeah. So like, you know, he must have didn't think about backing up more in time, and that really sucks.
Yeah. No, it's like a jitters that like he doesn't. Like, that's not like a tactical play, like him jumping in or like that I expect. Like him being overly aggressive, but he's waiting, like he's just sitting there. You could have sat anywhere. He already got the lane moved up. Like there's nothing that he was posturing for there. Oh man, I feel so bad for him.
I can understand what Team Liquid were going for at first.
Oh, cold. No. Right at the camera for a brief moment, like, oh, they're gonna see this.
They hope that Bertle will maybe make an overstep, but Genji, no.
On the bright side, they now have tactical in mid, which is what they want. So they have the Ziggs in mid lane for lane control. But now they have like no ults up because of all of that, except for Ziggs bomb, and so they're just gonna get another Rift Herald here.
Yeah. And your only value right now is Alphari has TP up, but you can't even put him in a lane anywhere.
Oh, you actually can, but it still is rough. And you know, it's that Trundle is so big at this point. He's 504 here at 15 minutes.
Yeah, and they could
and Jensen just dies. Yeah. Oh, nope. Yeah.
Because it looked like they were trying to do it again, where they were going to force him under tower and have Alphari TP in, but they didn't do that. Which I'm just so like Jensen is playing a fundamentally different game than the rest of TL. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And honestly, we saw this with the TF game against LNG.
Well, and in that one, it kind of echoed this. Only it was even more issues in lane phase, where like they played the TF into the LeBlanc and then like got absolutely bodied in every lane. And then it was really hard to play the game because you can't play TF into too much lane pressure.
No.
And they had no winning lanes, which was a complete travesty. So like now here they are. They had a like winning or even lane. They had another winning or even lane, and then they just completely botched plays, like set plays after they started, which is really unfortunate. And then like Jensen's been completely getting bodied by BDD in all these like skill shot matchups, because like there you can see like Aurelia has CC and he hasn't been able to hit the stuns in these close range engages.
No.
And that's very unfortunate because Sylas definitely punishes that. It was a skill matchup. Now the gold diff is too big. Everfrost is also a very strong item.
Yes.
So now
here's
like,
another pre-planned play just not panning out too. Like that's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, and here we're gonna see Jensen in this fight again.
Because he can win it.
And now they're going for the dive onto an Amumu. They got one.
Yeah.
But now here shows up BDD.
And yeah.
And the MF ult.
Oh, Alphari, why'd you go so deep? I just don't know. Like, this looks like desperation trying to make anything pan out. Like, a lot of overthinking and a lot of, like, we have to make something happen, guys. Like, I just don't know. It is a game of inches.
They're going for plays,
but
it's some of them are just a step too far.
And I almost wonder if you have to go for them, if you got just, like, a little bit more on the Irelia as far as, like, farm or presence or anything, if it would make the difference in these fights, because she's down 20 farm.
And a lot of gold in general, just from the gold kills now, because now BDD is just as fed as Clid.
Big.
They both have like 500 plus gold bounties right now.
Yeah.
So you do need to get a kill on one of them. All the carries are deathless on Genji at this point.
Yeah.
They've got to take swings, and at the very least, they did force a lot of summoners. You know, Ruler could be vulnerable here. You know, both summoners from him, both summoners from BDD. Life has used his as well. So you've got to try to look where those bounties are, see if you can pick up some gold here from TL. But Genji,
I think this is worse the second time. At least the first time there was some like hope with it. Ugh. Because here's a lot of value with the Irelia presence. Like, she can take towers. Like, this can be something that they can play around. Like, the rest of their team is relatively functional. Jensen still has the TP up. They have a Shen to respond either direction. But, like, you're split pushing and still losing a tower. A tier 2.
they should have like a they should have a better 1-3-1 comp. Like they have an advantage there, even with like issues with like how the second part of the draft played out. But like the problem is that like Genji are just so snowballed and take turrets so fast that you can't even 1-3-1 or try and maintain map pressure that way. But like we did see though that like it's like they took turrets pretty quickly. They escalated presence on the map. They're starting to have good wave clear. Tactical has Mythic.
Again, Baron coming up just now. A lot of resets coming off for Genji. Make your way up towards the top side. Pull Team Liquid out of base.
Because they're okay, so they're gonna have Shen ult up, yep, and they have 1, 2, 3 TPs up right now. There is literally no reason not to apply some like very widespread pressure. There's no value in not doing that.
Oh, the observer like moved back to that control ward. Oof.
Yikers.
Zale, in the LPL, you don't go for the safe, the guaranteed way. You go straight towards the FNKY. It's fine. Just bring a bit of flavor into it.
Yeah, because I don't think they can aggress onto Tactical anymore. He can just one rotation all the waves.
Not unless they like hard overcommit with 5 under the
which
turret,
you should be able to respond to with 3 TPs and a Shen ult, like.
Yeah, or just pressure the other lanes, right?
Yes.
But yeah, but like look how far back Jensen has to move in bot lane.
Well, I mean, they got the push there. They drew off the pressure from mid. Like, they should just do this till they're back into a tighter goal difference. Like, there's no reason that they can't keep doing this. And eventually eke out some kind of, like, leveling out.
Okay, so now... Oop.
Yep, and just too far out. So how do they respond?
So he could have flashed out a lot earlier there.
Yes.
But he did flash out. And now like the problem is that here they're just gonna lose the inhibitor turret because like now that Tactical had to back, they just don't have enough. So now they're gonna rotate here for the second turret. This is their window into the game.
Yeah.
Like look at how deep they go here.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Perfect. And that's what should have happened, I think, when they aggressed on Tactical. Why couldn't that have happened then? They were just as deep. I don't know.
They were, like, if they had all ported into, like, the inhibitor turret, it would have been a little too slow. Like, they could have backed out in time. So, like, I do think it was the appropriate time. And now here they get this Baron.
It's kind of crazy because
and at this point, you know, the hopium kicks in.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Like here they're about to get this Baron.
All right, they gotta burn this one down. Spite should be easy. Yes, indeed it is. Birdall's here alongside Ruler.
Jensen, no. That's TP in his flash. I guess it secures it.
He had to flash.
Well, he TP'd in. He TP'd in to flash out.
Yeah, well, I think he had to TP, like, I think they needed his help to, like, make sure they didn't die there. Because they were starting to get low, and, like, the Barons, like, got the debuff on them, and there's an MF there.
Yeah, I guess. It just looks so gross in hindsight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Huge amount of gold here with this shutdown. 800 from him. They clean up 4. They take Baron. The Soul is still a mile away from Genji. They got 2 during that replay.
Because Tactical's up on farm. I really
this is
Jensen's closing that gap. Yeah, like this is like maximum hopium, like the full tank is open.
Yeah, but like if you look at this now though, even though they have Baron buff, they're positioning like incredibly defensively in all 3 lanes because like their vision's getting cleared out pretty thoroughly here. And so they're trying to keep the vision down, but like look how far back they have to play on these 2 lanes. And so now here the play comes in on Tactical.
Man, he really needed a Zonia's or a stopwatch earlier.
That might have a stopwatch would have helped, but like honestly, he just needed someone to be between him and Bertle, but they couldn't see Bertle coming in from that other side, and that's basically the game. Because now here, they're just gonna try again. Only now there's no Ziggs to interrupt MF.
But it's so much easier to take the mid lane inhibitor first, get the pressure there, then go somewhere else. They don't need to have this obsession with that bottom lane.
They didn't even have a wave at that moment. Looked like they only had a couple of minions left. They are
the cold crap. Why would you pull that up of all times?
Well, you know, it's now they just had their giant dip, right? They're up 500 gold because of the Baron buff.
It will make Genji's life a lot easier looking for those aggressive pushes.
Yeah, the Rebel Baron power play is a solid 600 gold.
Oh, how much are we gonna burn on this Trundle?
Now this is scary.
Oh no. Oh my god, does he really get away? No. Okay.
No, they kill him. So they get the Trundle kill. They blew a number of ults for that, but it still is okay, right?
Yeah.
Like that was another buff or another shutdown, I believe. So that still helps. But now they're backing up again, right? Because they just blew a couple of ults.
Becoming a legitimate threat now. He's completed the second item. You know, we have that side lane win condition here potentially.
So Jensen has 2 items. If you look over at BDD,
1, 2, 3, 3
and the Magi's with 7 stacks. And he just got his stopwatch. So here's a Silas who's effectively full build at the moment.
Oh man.
And now they're trying to turret dive him. So pops the stopwatch. Or sorry, he has stopwatch Zonia's, so he just double. So he uses double stopwatch there.
And he eats 3 ults, 2 ults.
Expensive little bit of survival there used by BDD. The second stopwatch has no value, right? He just spent 650 gold to live there. So yes, you don't give over the 300 gold for a kill, but this was not actually fighting over a Baron. This was not fighting over Soul or Elder. You spent 650 gold to live. So that does cost you something, and that is something that you can
Heal is like hard prioritizing side lane freezes now because they know that they have so many problems with vision. Because like you can see that Jensen was like freezing there in top lane, and
yeah, but that's just
Alfari
starving yourself, isn't it?
No, freezing there is good because they know if they
I don't
kill
know
that wave,
jack anything about lanes, so
okay. So freezing there is good in theory because what you're doing is you're guaranteeing that you'll be able to eat the next wave. Because the problem is if you kill that wave too quickly and then the next waves clash like in the middle of the lane like you would like level 1, that's a huge problem because there's no way you can solo walk up that far right now with where your vision is at. So like they're doing that on purpose. It also starves the enemy team of gold because they can't go all the way to fight you at your turret. The problem is that then like you're guaranteed locked up there, killing those minions. So now he's got the wave shoving out, so now it's gonna go and crash onto the other side. But now like he's got a back, so like they're doing okay with lane state right now.
All of the TL resources up right now. We have Shen ult, all flashes, all TPs. Like.
So the big fight's probably gonna be in 25 seconds here for the dragon, most likely. We'll see how they end up playing it. One of the big weaknesses of NA so far this world has been in this like river area for dragon fights, though. It's been pretty atrocious.
And it's worth pointing out, Tactical is level 16, highest in the game. He's gotten so much solo experience clearing these waves. Level 3 Zigzag this early is punishing.
Oh no, Camille is just gonna go finish the game. Please don't lose this. Oh
and then he
my
loses
god,
the dragon.
No.
And so BDD is fighting them over there.
Yeah, because...
And now they're split. So they kill BDD. Now they're teleporting back, which is a good play.
Yeah. No, she's not getting caught.
Now them chasing means that they're not defending their Nexus turrets.
Giant big
so they're gonna get the kill here, but
at what cost? But kind of. Oh. Jeez.
So now it's
That Trundle's
3v2.
such a
And they
monster.
yeah, it's 3v2. And they just lost the one of their Nexus turrets, so they really
and
have
one
to
is
back.
like what, 3/4 left, if that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So now they're gonna just port So now they're just gonna port in and take this Baron for free because there's no way they can contest.
No.
This is an opportunity to look for this Baron, and man, are they burning it.
Yeah, Ziggs could come in here though over the wall, look to try to get some poke, but he has to be worried about the turn from BDD and Life, and it looks like he's just gonna have to give it up. I'm not even sure that he's aware it's going down. TL will lose the Baron.
You're gonna truck bomb.
Down in gold here.
Ooh. Oh.
It was a nice attempt. Landed at about 1500, but then it was in spike range, and Clid claimed it. So well done to Gen.
Man, this Trundle is so bigly this entire game. Just.
Might have been for Birdall's respawn, but they made it happen. They claimed the objective. 5,000.
And so other thing you call out is Clid now has the Anathema's chains or whatever it's called.
So no one's killing him.
Well,
you just put that on Jensen or Alfari and nothing's gonna happen to him.
Well, and more importantly, like they get the decreased tenacity or whatever into like this Amumu, Trundle, Silas storm of CC.
Yeah.
So like this next team fight could be pretty brutal. They still are in a decent spot overall though. Like they definitely have 1-3-1 advantage, right? Because like BDD can answer a side lane, but Bertle sure can't at this point. But now they have Baron buff, so they can actually push through tactical.
Yeah. Handedly.
Actually clear them out, especially with Bertle pushing in mid. Tactical's going to do his best. He is very strong, but we'll see if they can hold on.
That's a stun on a Santorinus. Get a whole lot done. Jensen pushed back by a pillar.
Man, you can't even really weather this either because you're just going to lose everything.
Middle inhibitor getting chipped down by minions, mostly not going for the big siege there, as they're going to allow Tactical to knock down this wave.
And I like the Gen G just playing out their two waves. Didn't want to keep anyone top to have to go up against someone like Alfari. They are just going to use these cannon minions to slowly chip down at these structures. And for Team Liquid, it looks like they're just hoping to find an angle where they can get a good fight. But Gen G playing it nice and slow.
Oh man, it's so.
Ruler's just gonna walk up and auto. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Alfari's going in on the side here. They're going for the fight.
Which should have happened.
They got Bertle.
Yeah.
But then they lost in him.
Yeah, and 2 towers.
So like they need to be super careful here now though, because like this is where they've been over chasing fights so far this game.
Yeah. Is there any reason they waited so long to commit to that? Because they could have pulled that trigger at any time.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ults or anything. I think it was more just like wave state, and then like Bertle actually got close enough for Alfari to engage. Because like Bertle before that, you could have seen was standing behind the cannon minions, like close enough to apply the buff, but not close enough to get hit.
Yeah. Ugh.
But I do feel like Team Liquid have finally gotten to a respectable point where, you know, if the Curse of the Sad Bullet time doesn't hit the mark that it's supposed to, if Tactical can hit a good ultimate, it will be really close. So definitely looking at execution. Gen G do still have Baron though, so they'll control waves. They'll be able to get the deep vision in the enemy jungle, and they should have an advantage when TL have to walk in.
So 2 stopwatches for Team Liquid. So
Baron buff's falling off. We're getting ready for soul fight though. So 30 seconds for next big team fight. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have everything up on both sides. Yeah, I guess Bertle is the only one. Bertle and Clid are the only ones missing some.
Santorin's ult's still down. And
no, Santorin's
Shen ult's
ult's
still down.
Yeah, Shen ult.
Oh, it just came
up.
up.
Yeah.
Shen ult is still down.
It should be up by the time that spawns.
I can't read percentages of that
Yeah,
bubble as well
it's
as
like
you
10 seconds now-ish.
Okay.
And
So-
it is now up.
So here's where this fight is already in an awkward spot. So Alfari is over the wall. This is the typical NA interesting wave spot. So like there's a fight in mid. They have the dragon getting pretty low. I think they're in a decent spot. And now, boom, immediately they peel off to try and attack that. And like Jensen's not fighting Bertle yet.
Yeah.
So now they're all porting in.
Oh no. Ooh, that's such a good MF ult.
Yeah.
Okay, not too
So they
bad
got
of
out
a defense.
alive,
Yeah.
and they got the dragon.
Yeah,
So
soft
they've been
soul.
holding out pretty well so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel
It's
like
just
going
such
back to that sequence was so strange.
uh,
coming out from Gen G.
timid,
Looks like they
I guess
have
is the word I'm looking for.
Team Liquid. Maybe
Yeah,
buy time
well,
for
and it's
Turtle
timid
to
from
go
Genji
along
too,
with
right?
it.
Because
Yeah.
they didn't fight there on the dragon, and they didn't fight there until super late in top lane either.
Yeah, but there's something we said, timid when you're winning, and then being timid when you're like, everything's on the line, like...
But it did feel like they were paying a tremendous amount of respect to Tactical, who is quite strong at this point on the Ziggs. Maybe
I feel like they're just playing with like the wind completely taken out of their sails after the LNG game. Like this, I don't know. This is not the team that beat Mad Lions.
They did take mid inhib. Bot inhib's going to be back here probably pretty soon, but they will maintain at least one inhibitor down with the Baron spawning.
I feel like the big thing, though,
As well as just like not drafting correctly. I think that's like it's hard to really overlook allowing the Trundle into the Sejuani, and then allowing the Silas into like I don't know.
Into their comp, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
and allowing them
it's really
Mumu.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the Amumu was first round, and people actually haven't been playing the Amumu at the main
No.
event because as you could kind of see with Life earlier on in this game, like he just
Not
dies
super
super
valuable,
fast.
yeah.
Yeah. Like the ult combo is great, but like if he gets caught out, it's really bad.
But you're also
So now
Team
Alfari
Liquid, so you
is
know this
in the
game's
ult
not
here.
ending quick. Yeah. Oh man, just completely claimed.
Yeah, that is huge. Such a long respawn timer here for Alfari. It looks like they
Yeah,
want
it's
to
like-
just take Baron first.
Fortunately, now this is another like thing people have talked about with Genji though, and why they're kind of weak compared to the other LCK teams, is that they like are very slow to close games.
Mhm.
So like here it is, they probably could have just pushed mid there
yeah.
after they killed Alfari, and instead now they're backing off and they're killing Baron again. They're like gonna kill this, and then if they back after killing this, like Alfari's gonna be up by the time they crash.
Yeah, it's a very minute advantage, like
So,
capitalized
like,
on. Yeah.
Yeah, but they do have the Baron buff though, and like they have like an inhib down when they're gonna get up there. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Able to break that one down. We just need to see Genji be able to follow it up with the kills to be able to end the game.
Might be this time around though. Still 2.5 minutes on the.
So here's Ruler with full build. He's got the full lethality suite.
Yeah.
So he's got the full lethality suite, and the only person who's really stacking armor is Sejuani, who's going to get Trundle ulted and is probably
going to
the
have
target
that
for the
armor.
chains. Yeah. So it's very dangerous right now for that MF ult.
Right now it's a 3-1-1 here for Genji. They have Bordeaux and bot. BDD's pushing in mid, and they have this 3-man squad here.
Yeah, Fari
pushing
doesn't
up
have his
top, and
TP
they're
up yet.
looking to get that triple inhib here and seal the deal here by locking TL into their base.
Oh no. Oh no.
We got the Shen ult, but
It doesn't matter. What canceled that TP?
That's gonna do it.
TP, I believe, was canceled, and that should be the game.
Ugh.
Genji made it close to their own volition, but the jungle and mid difference were just too good.
Yeah.
Sixth gonna fall.
Yeah.
Jensen gonna be next up as Tactical is gonna drop for the third time this game. Gen G go to 2-1, knocking down Team Liquid. The next is to follow.
so there that one goes. And so it's just like over forcing on some of these side lane plays the entire game.
The entire game.
And getting punished for it, and like some sick outplays by BDD and Ruler
Yes.
in this game, like
Yes.
absolutely like sick play from BDD, who's really showed up so far, even in their loss. So they gotta have a better answer to mid lane at some point.
Yes. So I mean, this completes like the first round robin, correct?
Yeah. First round robin's done. So all their remaining games are going to be in one day. We'll probably talk about the format more in like the
In
the
future
main
episodes, but
yeah.
I really just hope to see like we have to beat Mad Lions again, and I think we can show up against like I mean these were like I think it was just like execution issues. I don't think it's like skill gap per se all the time, but man, I just hope we come back really, really level set, because this is some very timid, like, this is not the agency play. Well, I guess it's over agency? I don't know.
It does look like jitters. I'd say jitters, because it's not necessarily about agency. It's about like understanding where you're like where you've gotten your advantage and then stopping before over committing. And because like the agency is good, setting up for these plays is good, but then like over diving, over committing, just the word over in general.
Yeah.
Speaking of over, if this video is getting close to being over,
yes,
and if
it is.
you enjoy the content, you should hit the follow, like, or subscribe buttons on the channel, or you can go to funky.store, that's FNKY.store, and buy some sick merch, like that panda shirt.
Yeah, Plump Panda, he's sick like me. Thank you very much, and this has been the DUOLANE special of all of my sorrow, so see you next time. Bye.